this Saturday night is it. From the historic Maple Leaf Gardens, or Manhattan Civic Center, whatever you call it now, formerly known as the Maple Leaf Gardens, it is Ring of Honor's All-Star Extravaganza 6. We've got 8 matches set up on the board. Opening match, or at least the match that I believe is going to open the show. Four-corner survival match. The Decade, represented by B.J. Whitmer and Adam Page, versus Josh Alexander and Ethan Gabriel Owens, a.k.a. Ego, versus Caprice Coleman and Takai Watanabe, versus R.D. Evans and Moose. On one side, you've got Whitmer and Page for the Decade. Across, Watanabe and Coleman. And these two are probably going to be the odd teams out. Now, why do I say that? Well, basically, Caprice has had his share of run-ins with the Decade recently, as their mentoring philosophies, specifically between him and B.J. Whitmer, have clashed at times. As Watanabe has been showing some desire to join the Decade, Caprice has been doing everything he can to try and steer Watanabe on the true path of respect, something that B.J. Whitmer doesn't seem to get and prefers to treat Tadarius Thomas and Adam Page like his whipping boys. Even after Adam Page defeated Adam Pearce in Chicago, a couple of weekends ago, though at Death Before Dishonor 12 weekend. So who wins this match? I'm going to say Evans and Moose as a shocker. Well, actually, it's not really a shocker if they're trying to keep the quote-unquote new streak alive. God knows what it's up to now. Are they trying to break Goldberg's 173-0 streak? Because that's not going to happen. It's too damn quick. This streak only started like back in February. And 7 months is too damn quick to reach that kind of record at a paced record. But as always, more than likely it's going to end with Moose getting the final move in, but Evans getting the pinfall victory. And I'm getting fed up with Evans being the buzzard. Next up, Mark Briscoe against Hanson. With Rowe of War Machine now pretty much on the shelf, decides to focus for his singles career until Rowe gets back. Rowe was involved in a motorcycle accident, and if you've seen the photos, he's on the road to recovery. So he faces the crazy chicken Mark Briscoe, the half of the Briscoes that has never worn singles titles. So who wins this one? I don't know. Part of me says Hanson, another part of me says Briscoe, but if I have to go with experience, I'm going to with my brain, I'm going to go Mark Briscoe. He'll win this. Next up, Battle of the Breakout Stars. Last real man, Silas Young, taking on Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander, while their paths are different, their opinions are different. One is young in his career, new father, and he's got the crowd behind him in every city. On the other hand, you have a cagey, grizzled veteran of the ropes who doesn't give a damn if the fans support him or not. both men are hot off world title failures. They're both proof they have what it takes to hang in the championship competition, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see them in the survival of the fittest tournament later and coming up in November. But who wins this one? I'm going to say Cedric Alexander wins. Next up, The Decade, consisting of Jimmy Jacobs and Roderick Strong, against The Addiction, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. Okay, can I ask a quick question? Why is it that it's Jimmy and Roderick tagging up? It would make more sense if you put Roderick as Adam Page's tag team partner and BJ as Jimmy's tag team partner. There's pretty much no tag team cohesion between Jacobs and Strong, or very little. And let's not forget, back at Field of Honor, this team, the Decade, screwed the Addiction out of the World Tag Team titles. So who takes this one? Well, you gotta go somewhere to start off the feud, and you go with the heels. Decade wins, but not cleanly. But they won't win it cleanly. Next up, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion for New Japan, goes up against former ROH World Heavyweight Champ Adam Cole. With Cole's loss at Field of Honor, he's now at the back of the line when it comes to the ROH title hunt. And this will be the first time these two have encountered each other in singles competition. It was back at War of the Worlds after AJ had retained the IWGP Heavyweight title against Kazuchika Okada and Unbreakable Michael Elgin when AJ was attacked from behind by Cole. He has not forgiven Adam Cole for that. And now that Cole is no longer the ROH World Heavyweight Champion, Cole is hungry to get back in the hunt. But next up, my pick to win will be the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, to come out on top. Next up, no time limit match for the Ring of Honor World TV title. The champion Jay Lethal to defend against ACH. Against ACH. This time, if they're going to make ACH the champ, pull the trigger on it now. On this now. If Lethal tries to make a run for it, or if Silas and Martin sneak in, look for, or even Jay Diesel, former head of ROH security, look for someone like Matt Taven to step to intervene. He might not be able to go after the title anymore, but he will be more than willing to aid ACH if it means he gets another. If it means he gets first crack at the title when ACH gets the gold, which would be an interesting match, by the way. My pick to win, ACH walks out of Toronto, the new ROH World Television Champion. From there, 2 out of 3 falls for the ROH Tag Titles. The challengers, Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. The champions, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, Red Dragon. It was back at Raising the Bar Night 2 when the tag champions, Red Dragon, lost the titles to the Young Bucks. be it through controversy, be it very controversial. Whereas, because Matt came in with a broken hand or something, and the cast contributed to the victory. But a little less than more than 2 months later, Red Dragon got their revenge and won the titles back at the ROH New Japan joint event War of the Worlds in New York City. Now we go to Toronto. And this time it's going to be 45 minutes. 2 out 3 falls. A winner will be decided. No casts, no interference, no nothing. At least I'm hoping. Now, I see this matchup being very competitive. I do see it going all 3 falls. And whichever team wins deserves to be the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. But who to win it? I see the Bucks are going to be chasing the Dragon. Red Dragon retains again. And once more, and shows why for over the past year and a half, 2 years since they formed, in a little less than 2 years, they have been the most dominant, preeminent, and successful tag team in Ring of Honor Wrestling today. Ring of Honor Wrestling. Finally, main event. For the ROH World Heavyweight title, your champion, the Unbreakable One, Michael Elgin, defends against the only man who ever had to be stripped of the title. The man who considers himself the uncrowned champion, because he never lost it, Jay Briscoe. It is finally happening for Jay that he's getting another one-on-one title shot. Something he hasn't had since Ladder War 5. But this time there are going to be no shenanigans. There are going to be no run-ins. It's just going to be a straight-up fight between a man who is about to be the most fighting champion in ROH history and the man who has been in Ring of Honor since day one. Jay Briscoe has been chopping at the bits to get back a belt that he was stripped of almost 14 months ago to the date. Over 14 months ago. Over 13 months ago. Will Elgin be reaching for the sky, or will he man up? Honestly, I'm torn as to who wins this one. And I hate to say it, Jay, but this time you're going to come up short. My pick to win and retain the ROH World Heavyweight title, the Unbreakable One, Michael Elgin. He leaves Toronto to a standing ovation. And walks out your new ROH. And walks out still your ROH World Heavyweight Champion. And this will force Jay to the back of the line. But nonetheless, he'll put up a good fight. That's all I'll say about that. I'm out. God bless. Peace.